From the beautiful city, Chicago, Illinois, Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Paul Konerko, Adam Dunn, A.J. Pierzynski and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Joe Mauer, Mike Kadire, and Ron Gardenhire's Minnesota Twins. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you the finale of this 4-game set and this 7-game homestand. As you know, the Twins took the first two. They won game 1 6-2, then they won game 2 8-5, and yesterday a very exciting game. Sox won it 4-3. So trying to get the series even at 2 apiece today with Jake Peavy.
Jake Peavy's 4-2 this year, and hopefully today the control will be a little bit better. That's one of the things that he started out with this year. Excellent control. Lately the control hasn't been there, but I like his chances today. It's a red-hot day at the ballpark, a great day to pitch, and a great day to get loose. Anthony Swarzak's going to the mound, and he's in an emergency start situation because Scott Baker has a bad elbow. Swarzak's 1-2. He's a swing man. He's a guy that's not overwhelming with anything, but his ERA is in the mid-3s, and he will keep the ball in the ballpark normally. So this is a game that we would dearly love to win, have a little momentum going into the All-Star break. 4.5 games in back of Cleveland. Hopefully we can put a dent into that and go into the break with a little relaxation and come out roaring.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. 75 years being right here in Illinois means no one's closer to your wellness. Experience wellness everywhere. Subway. Every day at Subway, choose from many delicious regular foot-long subs for just $5. Subway. Eat fresh. Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today or go to shophonda.com and find great values on a new Honda. AT&T Uverse. Find out more of what's possible at att.com. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by United. Proud to fly the Chicago White Sox.
Demand only from Comcast. Don't miss the action. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. It's a beautiful day for baseball. It is very warm, 90 degrees at game time. There are some clouds in the sky, and the Sox come in 4.5 games in back of Cleveland in the Central. Take a look at what's happened in the American League since the beginning part of May. Since May 7th, the Red Sox have the best winning percentage, followed by the Yankees. That's no surprise. But the White Sox at .569 baseball, tied with the Tigers and the Rangers. So unfortunately, it is the Tigers that are also ahead of us. We're 4 games in back of them heading in. But good news out of Cleveland. Toronto leading Cleveland 5-0. That game heading into the top of the 4th inning. So Ozzie looking out over a team that now has added 1 catcher because they lost 1 catcher yesterday. Ramon Castro yesterday took one right off the hand. He's got a broken finger. He's going to be out for a couple of months most likely, and Tyler Flowers has taken his place. So there's the roster move. Flowers called up. Pretty good power numbers, 15 home runs in 65 games. He is now the backup to A.J., who's one of the most durable catchers in all of baseball. Let's take a look at how Ron Gardenhire is going to line up his Minnesota Twins, who finally went down to defeat yesterday against the Sox. Revere is leading it off, then Casilla is second. Those are the 2 runners on the team, with Mauer the DH. Then it's Kadire, Valencia, who's been hot this month, Pisoni, Nishioka, Butera, and Repko rounded out. The defense and how they will line up behind Jake Peavy. As Jake looks for win number 5, it's Pierre Rios and Quentin left to right. Tian, Ramirez, Beckham, and Konerko in the infield. A.J. Pierzynski behind the plate, and he's been red hot lately. And the Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is Jake Peavy. He's looking for win number 5, his ERA a little bit higher than he would like, and lately the control just hasn't been there. Let's see if it comes to him early in this one. Follow all of today's stats and info in real time with White Sox In Game Live, only on CSNChicago.com, brought to you by The Great Escape. So after breaking the long losing streak to the Twins, winning a 1-run ball game yesterday, and executing when they had to, they come out today trying to make it 2 in a row, heading into the All-Star break with a little momentum before a 3-city, 10-day road trip. And hopefully Jake can provide that today. And you can do it by keeping Revere and Casilla off base. That's their runners. So we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Hawk Harrelson.
All right, Stone Pony, thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox Baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Finale of this set and finale of this homestand. So if you could join us as Ben Revere steps in, hitting at .272. And the first pitch of the ball game from our 30-year-old right-hander is down low. Twins come in at 40 and 48, hitting at .247 as a club with a 4.30 team ERA. There's a strike. And the count 1-1.
Revere will bunt, and I think it would serve Tian well if he moved in a little closer than even with the bag.
And that's going to be a base hit to start off the ball game. So good speed aboard. He is 11 for 16 in stolen bases.
This Twins team, 50 stolen bags in 70 attempts. Jake throws this one up and out over the plate. Not exactly where he wants it, to a slap hitter, and Revere takes advantage of it.
So that'll bring up the switch hitting second baseman, Alexei Casilla. He's hitting at .252, a couple of homers and 18 driven in. 5 for 13 in this series. And here at US Cellular Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center.
Juan Pierre is very shallow in left field over toward the line.
Bunted at it, says Larry Vanover. And the count 1-1. Joe Mauer on deck.
Casilla, switch hitter, much better from the left side. Both of his home runs have come that way. And he can hit the ball fairly hard left-handed.
Well, against us, he hits it hard wherever he's hitting from. He's been a terrific player against us.
It's a pleasure to see Bobby Bertucci here. Once again, a floral pattern shirt.
Oh, man. See a handsome man or what? One and two the count to the 26-year-old infielder.
There you see the disparity between right and left-hand hitters. Now what Jake is trying to do, and he's done a pretty good job of, although I don't think that he will completely stop Revere and Casilla, is he's holding the ball a little bit longer. He's got a quick move to first. Normally not a pickoff move, but he will vary his times in holding the baseball from the set position.
Well, Revere broke it down like he was going to be off on that one. Broke it down to the right side. And that pitch is popped up. So Tien. And that's out number one.
Jake threw a couple of changeups back to back to Casilla and got him.
So here's Mauer hitting at 243, no homers. He's driven in 9. And he, like Casilla, is 5 for 13 in this series with a couple of RBIs. Outfield slightly to the left. And there's a strike.
Mauer's only grounded into 2 double plays this year, which is a little unusual for a catcher, but he has better than average speed. He's been about 107 times. Got a late start this year due to knee surgery and complications from that. But entirely healthy now. We saw him at first base in the first game of the series, and he just looked terrific.
These two teams have met 7 times this year. And there's a strike. Good movement. And the Sox victory yesterday, 4-3, was the first victory in those 7 games. And that's inside 1-2.
What that cutter inside sets up is that fastball that Jake throws, where he throws it right at Mauer's right hip and tries to get enough movement to break it over the inside part of the plate. That's the pitch he used to get strike 2.
Decent lead by Revere. And he shanks that one into left field. Tied him up. Good pitch. 2 down.
That ball in the inside portion. Inside out swing. Mauer couldn't get much of it. And retired a tough hitter very easily.
Now here's another tough customer. Mike Kadire hitting at 295, 13 homers and 42 driven in. He's 4 for 12 in the series, and lifetime against Jake is 2 for 3. And that 5-0 Toronto lead over Cleveland. That game now in the top of the 4th inning. Thames a couple of RBIs. Patterson a couple of RBIs. Arancibia with 1.
How about Bautista yesterday hitting home runs 30 and 31 before the All-Star break?
Yeah. That's the most that I have heard of in a long time. Two out. Good speed aboard. He does not go. And that is slowed up, and it's going to be a base hit.
Well, a good idea by Alexi, because he realized that with the speed of Kadire, and by the way, Kadire has done that twice during the series, hit one off one of our pitchers. that you're not going to get him at first. And the only play you might have is if Revere gets a little excited and makes the big turn at shortstop. So he looks back, but Revere right back on the bag. That one hit right off the heel of Jake and couldn't locate it. Wouldn't have mattered anyway.
So here's Donnie Valencia, the third baseman, hitting at .236. 10 homers. He's knocked in 46. 2 on, 2 out. Outfield about equidistant, and for the most part straight up and spread out.
Valencia has been trying to pull just about everything. That's the reason why a guy that hit over 300 last year is hitting .236 this year. Now, this young man does possess some power, but keeping the ball away usually is a recipe for something hit to the left side.
And there's a strike on the corner. 1-1 the count. They're just getting underway in Kansas City. Detroit did not score in the top of the first. That's Francis against Verlander. And the count 2-1.
I think with Verlander going today, the best thing, because the innings have piled up quite a bit, is to start again after we leave Detroit.
He's going to be.
I don't think that's going to happen.
First game.
I don't think that's going to happen, but you know,
on that Friday.
Just thinking about his rest.
Shot. Tian makes the catch. That's a hang wuffle for Valencia. So some shots hung out against Jake here in the first, but they don't score.
Last game before the All-Star break. Juan Pierre leading off, and it's Alexei Ramirez, the hero of yesterday's game, along with Paul Konerko, the All-Star. Adam Dunn, Carlos Quinton, another All-Star. Then it's Rios, Pierzynski, Beckham, and Tian rounding it out. The defense behind Swarzak. Left to right, Tassoni, Revere, and Repko. In the infield, Valencia, Nishioka, Casilla, and Kadire. Butera behind the plate. And the Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Anthony Swarzak. This is the first time that he's started, the first time that he has looked at our White Sox hitters. There you see the record. Not overpowering. Has to use all 4 pitches. Will throw a cutter and a change. And it'll be interesting to see in this start, emergency, because Scott Baker's not feeling great.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. One hitting at .266. A homer, he's driven in 23. Corners in close. And there's the strike. Swarzak, 25 years old, 6'4", 208 pounds. Sox come in hitting at .252 as a club with a 3.84 ERA. Watch out.
Swarzak 4-9 lifetime. His ERA up over 5.25. But this year the ERA's been down there. 3.71 ERA, not too bad.
And there's another souvenir. That'll be in the LG Skyline club seats. So the count hangs at 0-2. Sox will conclude this game, have the All-Star break, crank it back up next Friday, the 15th, in Detroit. 3-game set, and then go from there to Kansas City for 3, then an off day on the 21st, and finish it off with 3, and there's a base hit. So a good way to start.
Swarzak cannot afford to get the ball up. Not with that less than overpowering fastball. That's what he did to Pierre.
And here's Alexei. And here's what he did yesterday with AJ on second base.
Revere doesn't have much of an arm. That throw is off target. AJ scores easily. Ball game.
Good lead by Pierre. Out and around that breaking pitch. Alexei 6 for 12 in the series with a homer. That coming yesterday as well.
This is just the 4th start of the year for Anthony Swarzak. And the last 4 times out have been out of the bullpen. So the question would be just how long Ron Gardenhire will be patient. What is his pitch limit today?
A slow move on that one, if that is his good one.
If it is, he's got some problems.
Yeah. Looks like that's it.
Doesn't have real quick feet. At least hasn't shown it on the second move. The first move was a toss-over. The second move looked like he put something on it, but the feet weren't quick.
And that pitch is popped up. You see, it makes the call, has the ball, and that's out number 1. So 1 out, 1 on. Let's check out our picks to click today. Jim Angio, our director and the crew. Well, they went with Alexei. Lone Pony's going to go with A.J. Pierzynski and Terry Hanley, Mike Williams, Roger Clare, all the great folks out of Bolingbrook. And we're going to go with Mark Tien. So here's Paulie. Paulie at 317, 22 homers and 66 driven in. And that's outside. Other action shows Tampa Bay at New York. And our congratulations certainly go out to Derek Jeter. Not only did he pick up his 3,000th hit, he went 5 for 5, and his 3,000th hit was a homer.
That's really amazing. A couple of things. First, that the Yankees have never had anybody with 3,000 hits, and only the second guy ever out of 28 that now have 3,000 to have their 3,000th hit a home run.
Wade Boggs was the other down in Tampa. That's chop foul. Plus, there's only been 11 guys to get 3,000 hits, all with the same team. That's pretty good, and all the thousands and thousands of players who have played this game.
And you're the captain of the highest profile team in the major leagues.
Probably the highest profile team in sports.
Yep. You've done it with class and dignity all the way.
He has been an asset. Breaking ball strike, and the count 1-2.
Now, they're not going to argue with that one. And Paulie realized it was off the plate, but Jake was getting the same pitch. And it looks like Larry Vanover is going to call, especially the slider, he's going to call it an inch or two off the outside corner. If he stays right where he is, the hitters will know that. Jake got the same pitch. Consistency.
Gave him a pretty good pitch to hit right there.
Looks like Don Cooper made a tremendous play in the dugout. That one running inside. Very hittable. Don Cooper caught the ball on a bounce.
Outfield straight up, spread out for Paulie. A bigger lead now by about a quarter of a step, and he takes off, and there's a line shot, and they're going to double him up. So we get the leadoff man aboard, and that'll do it after 1, no score. Relive some of his greatest baseball moments and what's going through his mind, one out from a perfect game. Find out on Inside Look. Mark Buehrle tonight at 9:30, only on Comcast Sportsnet, and that should be really good.
Got a big section there on Kevin Hickey, certainly.
Rene Tassone will lead it off here in the second. Tassone comes in hitting at 186, couple of homers. He's driven in 9. 2 for 8 with 2 big RBIs. He had a 2-run single that tied the game at 5 in game 2, and in essence that turned into a 5-run hit because the next guy, Luke Hughes, hit a 3-run homer. All that with 2 out. Guys, the backdoor him, misses.
Tassone doesn't have a whole lot of power, but he has been hitting the ball fairly well in this particular series, getting an opportunity to play most every day.
Out and around that one. Nice movement right there by Jake. 1 out. So here's Tsuyoshi Nishioka. 4 for 11 in the series. Comes in hitting at 234, no homers. He's driven in 8. That's up high, and you can experience the new Gold Coast Tickets Club located on the 200 level here at US Cellular Field. For tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com. And the count 2-0.
When Jake takes a little something off his fastball, it moves more, it sinks away from the left-handers, and they'll do a lot of grounding to the right side. Fan in the upper deck had it and dropped it.
Nishioka, one of 2 switch hitters in the lineup. And that pitch is fouled back. 1 out, 2-2 the count here in the top of the second if you're just tuning in on a beautiful day here in Chicago. 90 degrees.
Great baseball weather. Absolutely great.
And that breaking ball slap foul.
The one thing you know for sure is the pitchers can get loose and stay loose.
Good movement on that one. Pops it up. Juan Pierre, long way to go. Makes the catch. Nice play. 2 down.
You know the ball's going to come back drifting a little bit toward the field of play. It's going to be a foul ball all the way. Juan checks where the seats are, knows he's got plenty of room, and then runs it down.
That'll bring up the catcher, Drew Butera. First pitch right there. Butera hitting at 180. A homer, he's driven in 12.
Get a picture before of Jim Thome talking with Michael Kadire. Thome getting a couple days off into the All-Star break, which will give him 5 or 6 days off.
There's a strike, and the count 1-2. A couple of good guys right there. That's low. And the 2-2 pitch. Just did get a piece of it. Kansas City hitting in the bottom of the second, no score with the Tigers. Toronto hitting in the top of the fifth, leading Cleveland 5-0. And that's fouled back over our dugout. And a full count. And if you're just tuning in, did not hear. Tyler Flowers was called up to replace Ramon Castro on the list as Ramon broke his hand yesterday. He'll be out for the rest of the season probably. As he gone. 1-2-3 inning for Jake. First strikeout. And after an inning and a half, no score.
89.
No score here in the bottom of the second inning. A beautiful day for baseball, and Jake had a 1-2-3 second.
Looks like Jake is starting to get the ball over the plate. He has a little better feel than he did in the first inning, and that's good because the bottom part of this Twin lineup doesn't have a lot of thunder in it. So if they don't get it done at the top, probably not going to get it done.
Adam Dunn will lead it off. Adam at 162, 9 homers. He's driven in 34. Takes first pitch strike. Getting back to Tyler Flowers, who was called up to replace Ramon on the active roster. Flowers was hitting .261. He's been really swinging the bat. 15 homers and 32 knocked in down at Charlotte. The last 17 games, he was hitting .354 with 8 homers and 15 RBIs.
And the real challenge for coming up and doing what he's going to do is going from an everyday player to a guy who's going to get occasional at-bats behind one of the league's most durable catchers.
Checks it up, and the count 1-2.
Sometimes not easily done, but you have to pay your dues sometimes. And Tyler has a world of potential. Now he's got to turn it into performance.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Quentin on deck. Bottom of the fourth at PNC. Pirates leading the Cubs 5-1. Buccos are playing some ball. There's a major league pop-up. Valencia.
That one was up there for a while.
So here's Quentin hitting at .254, 17 homers and 51 knocked in.
Carlos got a huge hit yesterday. Key situation. Drove home the tying run to set up the Ramirez heroics.
Breaking ball strike. Big double, big base hit by Pierzynski. Leading off the ninth. And that's outside. Foul straight back. And the 1-2. Vanover rings him up. On a pitch that was outside.
I can understand on the slider maybe cutting off the front part of the plate. Now we know it's going to be a wide outside corner. That one was a fairly wide outside corner.
So here's Rios. That might be the best pitch he gets in this whole thing if they sit up outside. Breaking ball, little chopper. And Nishioka, no problem. 1-2-3 inning for Schwarzik. And we'll go to the third. 36 inches, 36 ounces, and actually the biggest part of the bat is right in here.
But you can tell, I mean, even the handle of the bat, Hawk, you can tell why they didn't break a lot of bats in those days.
He probably didn't break a bat a year. That's a funny looking bat. I'll tell you, look at how the grooves, they're so together. You would think that back in those days they would be at least a quarter of an inch apart, but they're not. He had a lot of grooves in there. And this is from the Louisville Slugger Museum and Factory, as there is a pitch swung on and miss, 1-1 to count.
We have to wear special gloves to be able to handle the bat. And this is very nice.
Hi.
And Ann is from the Louisville Slugger.
Hello.
Yes. And there's a bunt that's going to be a good one. So now you guys are just starting to make a tour, right?
Well, we are celebrating our 15th anniversary, and here at Louisville Slugger Museum and Factory.
Okay, hold it.
Here we go.
There we go.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's right. The White Sox invited us up here, and we were so thrilled. The White Sox fans have been fantastic. It's the first time we've taken our show on the road from Louisville Slugger Museum and Factory, and we brought this bat up. The fans have just been terrific, watching it.
Well, that's something. I tell you, I held Babe Ruth's bat, and it was a little bigger than this. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he played with
56. I roomed with his bags.
You know. I bet you got some stories about that,
This is just great. Thrilling.
Yeah, you had a good reception, though. Huh?
Well, I'll tell you, the White Sox fans, I have been so impressed. They are so knowledgeable and so proud of the heritage of their team. And
there's a base hit, so the bunt starts it off, and now trouble of brewing here in the top of the third. Runners at the corners and nobody out.
And yes, we've also brought some, we have Konerko's bat, game used, and Przinski bat that they can hold as well while they're here, and they've just been soaking it up. It's been terrific.
Well, I have to tell you that I also used the Louisville Slugger. I have absolutely no marks on it because I didn't get many hits, but that was my bat of choice.
Well, thank you for that.
The K55.
K55.
Yes.
Terrific.
And
we actually still make that model a lot.
Well, I needed to make it a whole lot bigger so I could at least hit something.
That's one of our biggest barrels already. I hate to break it to you.
Yeah, Frank Robinson had the R161 with a bottle bat. But K55, I don't know if you guys knew this, even though Louisville, who used that most of the time was Mickey Mantle.
Mickey Mantle did use that. I'll tell you, though, he would pick up anybody's bat, too.
Yeah, but he used the K55 most. Ann, thanks for stopping by.
Sure thing. Thank you, folks.
That's something. Shoeless Joe Jackson's bat. So the count 0-1 to Casilla. He fouled out to Martinez third. It's the first bat I've ever seen where the middle of the bat was the biggest part. And I would imagine because if you get jammed, it's coming right to your wheelhouse. And that's foul back. So the count 0-2. Mauer on deck, so Jake in a whole bunch of problems here. Oh, good there, Paulie. Dig out. And as he strolls to the plate, a reminder, you can join the Chi Sox mobile group by texting lineup, that's LINUP, LINEUP to 244-769 for a chance to win 2 tickets on August 14th and also the opportunity to deliver the lineup card at home plate before the game. Winner must be at least 12 years of age.
Well, Casilla had 5 sacrifices, 3 sacrifice flies, and failed to do anything in a key situation. Now you're still a double play away from getting out of this.
As first pitch strike, Mauer shanked one into left field, caught by Juan Pierre. Good pitch by Peavy.
Yeah, the guys know at this point that Larry Vanover is going to have a large play. And knowing that ahead of time, you're going to have to go out and just get it because he's going to call it, and he's been calling it.
Getaway day. And that's inside 1-1.
Against right-hand pitchers, Albert Pujols at the top, Joe Mauer second. Then it's Ichiro, Helton, and Youkilis. Interesting part, the number one against right-handers, the right-hand hitter. The next three are the lefties.
Well, we talked about it a lot. There are a lot of right-handed hitters that don't like to face left-handed pitching. A lot of them. Well, not the majority. Not the majority.
No. And that was with runners in scoring position. And great hitters on that list.
Goes through that one. Upstairs in the count. 1-2.
Mauer doesn't strike out often. About once every 5 times or so. And if this is the 5th time, Jay could really use it.
Could be. Could be. Rack him up. Good pitch. Ate him up inside. So he gets first and third. Nobody out. Pitches out of it. And we'll go to the bottom of the 3rd.
Who's the only player in Twins history to hit 2 home runs in the same inning? And the hint, and be very aware of this, the hint is 2009, which in the way of great clues might be right in the middle.
Oh, 4-0 for their guys, 0-1-0 for our guys. Juan Pierre led off the bottom of the 1st with a base hit. Since then, Swarzak has retired 5 in a row. Counting that double play. So here is AJ, that big hit yesterday. AJ at 297, 3 homers, 28 driven in. First pitch strike. And the count, 0-2.
Last 26 games, AJ has been probably the hottest catcher in baseball, hitting .366, driving in 10, scoring 13. Pretty impressive last month.
And he also is the hardest man in Major League Baseball to strike out, striking out only once in every 18 at bats. Softly hit, one hopper. Good pitch by Swarzak.
Jake did a phenomenal job of getting out of that third inning. He had two of the three guys. Well, if Kadire gets up, he's the third, but two of the three guys that can make life miserable for you get out of the inning without giving up anything. That's got to be a big boost to the ball club.
Beckham takes low ball 1. According to 241, 7 homers and 24 knocked in.
That one got a piece of him. This looked like a curveball. That's not going to feel too good.
Off the fist, muscles it out there into left field, and that's out number 2. So here's Mark Teahen. Terry Hanley, Mike Williams, and Roger Clares picked to click. Curveball strike.
Swarzak is throwing a lot of first ball curveballs. He doesn't throw too many more than that, but he gets ahead with that soft breaking ball.
And the count 1-1. Curveball. Right here, Mark. Good rip at it just underneath it. Mark is 1 for 4 in the series. That was a 2-run homer. Those were the only runs we got in game 2.
Minnesota fan with a Boston hat. Divided loyalties.
Full count to 10. And that's high. Getting me over breaking ball. A little too high for Mark. So the walk first base on balls issued in this game. And here's one. He lined a single to right field.
Sox are going to run every chance they get on Revere. This is not the best throwing outfield combination that they have in there. Juan's another guy in the last couple of weeks that has been hitting the ball well.
And that's into center field. Rivera's there, makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. We've completed 3. Nobody scored a run.
the fourth meal from Taco Bell. Open 1 a.m. or later.
No score here in the top of the fourth inning. It'll be Kadir, Valencia, and Tassoni. Just tuning in, last inning they had men on first and third, nobody out. Casilla popped up to Konerko, and Maurer was jammed on a terrific pitch by Peavy, hit into a 4-6-3 double play. And also Toronto leading Cleveland 7-0 now. That game in the top of the sixth inning. First ball, Hunting pops it up. Beckham. One pitch, one out. So here's Valencia. Had a couple of guys on in the first inning with two out, and he hit a P. I mean, a screaming Mimi right to T in the third. Just about as hard as that young man can hit a ball. 0-1 the count. Those last two Cleveland runs driven in by Jose Bautista, who just ripped a double down into the left field corner. There's a strike.
Here's our AT&T UVerse multi-view. You get Jake from the center field camera. You're taking a look at Tien in case he pulls it, and a look down the third base line.
He gone.
Stay away from Valencia. Usually don't have many difficulties.
Second strikeout for Peavy. And here's Tassoni. He grounded out to Beckham.
Showed bunt. Pulled Martin in at third. But he goes back to his regular position.
And the count 2-0. And there's a strike. And Bacardi at the Park. White Sox new restaurant and bar is open, offering a full menu from Gibson's Restaurant Group. Bacardi at the Park. It's a place to meet and watch all the action on over 70 flat screen HD TVs. And it's right across the street from U.S. Cellular Field. 3-1 the count.
If Jake throws a fastball here, he usually takes a little something off. With the hitter guessing fastball, he finds a lot of them out front of him.
So the first walk issued by Peavy. And here's Nishioka. He fouled out to Juan Pierre in left field. One had a long way to go, and he got there. Takes first pitch strike. Yankees leading Tampa Bay 1-0. Rays hitting in the top of the eighth inning. That's Sabathia against Shields. Couple of good ones right there.
Well, things haven't gone all that well lately. Tampa Bay just 5-5 in their last 10. But the fact that they're still hanging 5 games in back of Boston in that race after all of their losses in the offseason is a testament to that organization.
And to that manager.
Well, there's no doubt Madden is one of the best. That organization has been good for a while as far as their draft picks and development. But when you lose your whole bullpen, as well as Carlos Pena and Carl Crawford, it's a big loss.
And the count 3-1.
Here are the standings in the East, with Boston leading the Yankees by a game. The wild card, by the way, unless there's a huge upset, is coming out of the AL East. And it's the Rays, the Blue Jays, and the Orioles, who are scuffling.
And there's a strike. Detroit leading Kansas City 1-0. Tigers hitting in the top of the fourth. Payoff. So back-to-back walks.
Well, the problem with, even if Jake gets out of this inning and does not give up a run, the problem is you would have liked to have led off with Nishioka and then the bottom third of the order next inning. Instead, because most likely you're going to deal at the very least with Butera, you're going to roll over the lineup a little quicker than you'd like in that fifth inning.
That breaking ball slapped foul. And a nice catch by one of the fans who did not bring his glove. And the count 0-2. And today down at Charlotte, Johnny Danks went 3 innings, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 home runs. And the walk is going to cross the plate. So he had 2 out, nobody on, 2 walks. Base hit by Butera. It's 1-0 Minnesota.
For as far ahead as Jake was against a guy who doesn't hit very well, he throws a slider, and Butera goes out and actually swings at a ball. It's not a bad, in fact, it's a good pitch. He just happened to hit it into center field and drives home run number 13.
Here's Repko. He started off last inning with a bunt. A bunt single. And the count 0-2. Yeah, these are the kind of runs that really hurt you. You get Kadire to pop up on one pitch. Valencia had a bad at bat, struck out. Then you walk the 7th hitter, Nishioka, and you walk to Sony before him. And then the base hit by the 8th place hitter. And there's another run that's going to score. So both walks are going to cross home plate, and maybe even more. So Repko, the double. That's his 2nd extra base hit this year.
Just his 9th run batted in. And what looked like a fairly innocuous inning with 2 men on, nobody out, turns into a tough inning. As Repko takes it right down the line, bringing Don Cooper out from the dugout. Tien as well off the line, not figuring that Repko is going to pull that ball, but Jake took something off. And Repko got out in front of it.
So this turns out to be a big out right here. Revere is 2 for 2. If he gets a hit right here, it's and one. He'll get there. 2 out, nobody on, 2 walks. They score and they lead it 2-0.
To hit 2 home runs in the same inning. The AT&T trivia question and the hint. Michael Cuddyer back on the 9th of August in the 7th inning. Michael Cuddyer, same inning, our AT&T trivia answer. Not surprising with Cuddyer because he's been a good player for a long, long time.
And we trail it 2-0 after 2 out, nobody on, a couple of walks, a single by Butera, a double on a changeup to Repko. So here's Alexei. It'll be Ramirez, Konerko, and Dunn. He takes first pitch strike. Second pitch strike. Oh, and 2 the count. That didn't take long. 1 down. Second strikeout for Anthony Swarzak. And here's Konerko. Polly. Hit a line drive right to the shortstop with Juan Pierre, who was on the move, into a double play.
Swarzak gave up a leadoff single to Juan Pierre, and that's been it.
Curveball high. Two 6-0 for them, 0-1-0 for us. And there's a breaking ball strike.
Our United Airlines leaders of the game is Paul Konerko. Since May 28th, hitting .359, second highest in the American League. Only Adrian Gonzalez hitting higher.
Ouch. Another surprising stat on Gonzalez is he's leading the league and hitting into double plays.
Well, he can't run and he hits the ball hard, and that's a bad combination.
Torrey Hunter second. I can understand that.
You can understand that, is right. But also with Gonzalez, he comes to bat a lot with a pitcher in the stretch because they got some guys in front of him that get on base a lot.
It's tough to do. You don't want to do that. Lead the league in hitting into double plays. But on the other side of the page,
You got a guy in the Hall of Fame from a team you played with that used to ground into a ton of them.
yes,
Jim Rice.
he led the league almost every year.
Every year.
Almost every year.
But when he wasn't doing that, he was hitting the ball over or against the wall.
Some of those double plays, you can't believe how hard they would hit. Is that breaking ball? How to play right side. He could handcuff infielders.
Well, I believe it, but very few times did I keep him in the infield, so I was worried about him handcuffing the outfielders.
Like Bautista did in Toronto.
with Rios
with Rios in center.
Yeah.
Well, a line shot single. And that is out number 2.
Swarzik is changing speeds. That was a changeup. He's got a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, which is less than overpowering, and yet he's proven very difficult here because his control has been good. He's spotting everything, and last year didn't make it at all to the Twins.
Well, he's giving a Philip Umber-like performance. He's spotting his fastball and getting the curveball over. That equates to pretty good outing. That's foul back in the count 0-2. Plus he's throwing first pitch strike, as Umber does.
Last year at Rochester, 5-12, ERA 6.21, 143 hits and 111 innings. That doesn't appear to be the guy that's on the mound today.
No. Change up. So the count 1-2. Sox breaking a 9-game losing streak in this ballpark against this club yesterday. Wow. Close.
Most likely when you get the benefit of the doubt from Vanover, it's on the outside, not the inside.
Yeah, it's got a piece of it. Top of the 7th in Pittsburgh. Pirates leading the Cubs 6-1.
Paul Maholm going to mount for the Pirates, and despite his record at 5-9, he's one of the best pitchers in the National League. If they put him on the market, they'd be lined up down the block.
So he strikes out Ramirez, Konerko, and Dunn, and Schwartz leads it 2-0. The 500th texter, you could win $5 footlong subs from Subway. 2-0 bad guys here in the top of the 5th. It'll be Casilla, Mauer, and Kadire to face Jake Peavy. First pitch strike, who Jake last inning had not walked anybody up until 2 outs, nobody on. He walked to Sony, he walked Nishioka, and both of them came around to score. He did go. And the count 0-2. Ball and 2 strikes to Casilla. Two and two. Fouls that back. And a reminder, you can visit the official online shop of the White Sox. You can browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. So get your gear from the official source. Shop at whitesox.com. And there's the base hit. So the leadoff man aboard. These guys are good at getting them on, getting them over, and getting them in against us.
Most of the guys just don't overswing. And when they get behind, they take pretty defensive hacks, unless you're talking about Kadire, and of course when he's in, Tommy. Now we haven't seen Kubel. He's still having foot problems. That's a big loss in their lineup.
Yeah, we talked about it in the first game. For those of you who missed it, first two as a matter of fact. I know in my long time in this game, over 52 years, I've never seen a club with their top guns crippled up like Minnesota's been this year. Never.
It's pretty amazing the fact that they've been able to stay afloat.
They're not out of this thing at all by any long stretch of the imagination. They are not out of it.
There's the guys currently on the disabled list. Those are 4 of their everyday players. Add Mauer and Tommy to that, along with Nathan, and you saw how many we lost when we were up in Minnesota against a team that was terribly decimated.
That's one of the frustrating things about this year. It seems like almost everybody we have run into, especially in the first 2 months, I was elated because we were catching them with some of their better players down, as that's foul back and the count 2-2. So we've been catching a lot of breaks and could not take advantage of it.
Now we'll see if Gardner, who has not been particularly aggressive today, most likely because Jake getting the ball off quickly, holding it on the mound, but let's see if he runs here with Casilla.
He goes and fouls it back. Casilla, one of the big stealers on this club. 13 for 16. That's pretty good percentage.
The top 2 guys are the guys you normally have to worry about. However, that being said, they got it done with the bottom part of the order last inning because of a couple of walks.
Two, there he goes again, and there's a little fisted soft single into right field. So runners at the corners, nobody out but New.
Well, if you're wondering how guys win batting titles, here's an example. This ball is up and in, off the plate, and Mauer doesn't get a whole lot of it, just enough to get it over Beckham's head. Casilla can pick up the baseball, knows exactly where it is, and knows there's going to be no play. So for the second time, runners at the corners, nobody out. Jake in the third was able to pitch over it.
Kadire. Had an infield single and a pop up to second. That is high and deep into left field. Juan settling on it right in front of Nellie Fox and the Comcast Sportsnet sign. So Maurer will tag and get into second as Casilla scores, and it's 3-0. He just missed hitting that one a very, very long way.
RBI number 43. The fact that the trailer, Joe Mauer, tagged up gives you an idea about Twins heads up on the bases. Towering fly ball.
So here's Valencia 0 for 2.
As Jake is ready to deliver pitch number 87, Will Oman, the ever-present Will Oman, throwing in the bullpen.
That's softly hit into center field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. So Maurer reading it perfectly.
That's a real bad.
There's a bad throw.
It's a terrible throw because of the angle of it. Maurer wasn't going to go. All you have to do is hit Konerko with the throw. You keep the double play in order. When he airmails Konerko, Valencia on a heads-up play, reading the angle of the throw. He goes into second. Watch Maurer. He has to wait, so he's not going to score on this. He holds up. But it's Valencia, when he sees the angle of the throw, realizing Konerko can't get it, just goes into second.
Well, Maurer did exactly what you're supposed to do as a base runner. You're supposed to make the center fielder throw the ball. And he threw it to the home plate, threw a bad throw, and they took advantage of it. Now, if he's just jogging into third, that throw is not made. So he caused that bad throw to be made. Tassone. Fouls it back with the infield in. 3-9-0 for them. 0-1 and 0 for us. They do all the little things very well. And there he just pokes that one into left field. So now Maurer is going to score and Valencia into third.
Now the difference on that is if the throw doesn't airmail Konerko, the infield is back. And you might not have a shot at a double play, but it's going to be hit right at Ramirez. Now with the infield in, no angle for the ground ball. That's going to be it for Jake.
And that's why you got to do the little things. As Minnesota has done them for years and years. They do the little things. They put pressure on the other ball club. So Jake departs, and we'll be back.
Pen with runners at the corners is Will Oman, who's 0-1, ERA 4.39, on for the 32nd time. He's going to look at Nishioka with only one out in relief of Jake Peavy.
Nishioka is 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. And that is 1-1. Bottom of the 7th in Cleveland, 7-1 Toronto. Top of the 6th in Kansas City, 1-0 Detroit.
That's a surprise with Verlander on the hill.
And there's a nice stop and a pick. Now they go to second and they get it. Heads up play by Paulie. But the run will count as they score 3 this inning. We're halfway home trailing 5-0. Five, 10-0 for the Twins, 0-1-0 for our Sox here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Off Anthony Swarzak. So it'll be Quentin Rios and Pierzynski. Nice double play right there to end the 5th.
Great play by Beckham to start it off, and a heads-up play by Paulie. Seeing Tassoni round the bag. Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay. Look at this play by Beckham. Now the run scores, but rounding the bag a little too far, and Paulie, who's as accurate as there is, gets it there quickly.
1-2 the count to Quentin. Well, Beckham is putting himself in that category of being an elite second baseman. He has
done an unbelievable job this year.
And that's softly hit. And 1 out. Well, if you just take a look at what he's done. When he joined us, They put him at third, and for 2 or 3 weeks there, he really struggled. He just couldn't. The play that always sticks out in my mind is that line drive in Minnesota that was hit right between his legs.
That's right.
In the air. So he was having trouble getting the speed of the game. Finally, all of a sudden, he got that. And then the last 2 months of the season, he was as good as any third baseman in the league. Then they changed him over to second base. He struggled there a little bit. Now he's just about, range-wise and turning to double play, just about as good as anybody in this league.
Well, he's following the same exact career path as Ryne Sandberg. I mean, exactly. Started as a shortstop. The reports on a shortstop on both of them were might not be able to play big league shortstop. They moved both of them to third. They both became very good third basemen before finally moving to center. Now for Sandberg, it ended in the Hall of Fame. For Gordon Beckham, we'll have to wait and see how that turns out, but it's the same exact career path.
There's a base hit to the boy Alex. So that's our first hit since our first hitter in the bottom of the first. And that'll bring up A.J. He grounded out to second. And Beckham has really just been impressive.
But one error, he's playing his 83rd game. And it's not like he doesn't have the great range, because he does. He's got a shortstop's or third baseman's arm at second. That always holds him in good stead. I like the fact that he hangs in there, gets the throw off regardless of the contact coming. He never shies from contact.
I'll tell you who he reminds me a lot of, only he's got a lot more range. He reminds me of Bobby Grich. Bobby had a big arm for second base.
Yes,
he could get it, turn it over there. And Gordon's going to hit. There's no question in my mind he's going to hit. And when he does, then he's an all-star.
Well, when he starts hitting, and I know that it's not supposed to be tied together, but when he starts hitting, then he wins a Gold Glove at second base.
It is tied together, as we all know.
And Robbie Cano might be one of those examples.
Well, Robbie Cano is a great player.
Terrific.
Great player. That ball into the left, get over his head. Left goes back, makes the catch, and that is out number 2. But Gordon, he's got everything it takes to be an all-star. And when I say he's going to hit, I'm not necessarily talking about the rest of this year, but he's going to hit in the future. Got too much talent. That breaking ball hit deep into right field. Back on the track, right in front of Jackie Robinson. Makes the catch. And that'll retire the side. We'll go to the 6th, trailing 5-0.
And it is the All-Star break, and then it's on to Detroit, where we'll play 3 games, then to Kansas City for 3, and the off day on the 21st before we head to Cleveland and take on the Tribe. That's the Feldco upcoming schedule.
It'll be Butera, Repko, then back to the top of the order with Ben Revere. Outfield straight up, as he cannot get that one. And the count 0-2. Tigers have added one more. They now lead Kansas City 2-0. Royals hitting in the bottom of the 6th, bottom of the 8th in Cleveland, still 7-1 Toronto. And that's the final from the Bronx. Yankees shut out Tampa Bay 1-0. He gone.
Cuts that ball in the hands of Butera. Goes down on strikes. I'd like to send along birthday greetings to my dear friend and great Sox fan, Michael Layden. Congratulations on losing the 50 pounds. Somebody stole his cigar collection.
And I want to send out a big White Sox shout out to Margie Bauer, who's been a Sox fan for 80 years.
She is a huge Sox fan. There's a young man, has his glove. He's ready to go just in case anything comes. He's prepared. And you have to be prepared.
1-0 pitch to Repko, who's 2 for 2 with an RBI. Last 35 games we have played this team, we have won 7. And the count 1-2.
Ron Gardner against the White Sox, 98 and 76. But lately, it's been terribly one-sided.
That's a fair ball. Nice play. Paulie had himself an easy pick right there. So 2 out. And checking some other scores for you. Phillies leading Atlanta 4-1. Bottom of the 7th at Citizens Bank Ballpark. Bottom of the 8th in Florida 5-4. Marlins over Houston. Bottom of the 5th at Fenway. Carmine's leading Baltimore 7-6. Top of the 8th in Pittsburgh 6-1 Pirates over the Cubs. Bottom of the 8th in Washington. Nasty Nats shutting out Colorado 1-0. Top of the 6th in Milwaukee 3-2 Cincinnati. As here is Revere. Good strike. Bottom of the 5th in St. Louis. Cardinals 4, D-backs 2. Just getting underway. Seattle at the Big A in Anaheim. And top of the 3rd down in Texas, no score as they host Oakland. Good strike. Couple later on games. Padres taking on the Dodgers in LA, and tonight Mets against the Giants at AT&T.
Dodgers got 1 hit last night. And they won the game 1-0. It was 2 outs in the 9th inning.
Nice inning by Ullman. 1-2-3, but we trail it 5-0.
Double is back for just $1.89, but you don't have to remember it to love it. Prices and participation may vary. For a limited time, a la carte only.
Mark Teahen will lead us off here in the bottom of the 6th as we trail it 5-0. Twins with 10 hits. We have 2 off Anthony Schwarzer. Mark's been to the plate 1 time. He walked. And that's up high. And that's foul back. And a reminder, great seats are available for all White Sox home games. Tickets start at just $12 a seat. And the schedule is full of great matchups, promotional nights, and post-game fireworks. So purchase your tickets by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME. A little tardy on that 92-mile-an-hour fastball. And the count 1-2. It's full. And that is out of play. Twins took the opener 6-2 behind Carl Pavano. They took game 2 8-5 behind Nick Blackburn. And yesterday, big base hit by AJ, and he scored on a big hit by Alexei. Sox won it 4-3. As that's popped up, Butera. So 1 out.
Last couple times out, Swarzak has gone through 6 innings. He's in the 6th inning now, but so far has shown absolutely no signs of tiring. And the control has been there all day.
He hadn't messed around with the middle of the plate very often. He's inside corner in, outside corner out, getting his curveball over whenever he wants to. getting ahead of all the hitters. That curveball's high. Pierre is 1 for 2. There's a bunt. That's a good one. That's a good one.
You need base runners. For some reason, Valencia is not in all that close. And once this ball stays fair, you know it's going to roll back toward the field of play. And no chance at all for Danny Valencia. So there's a base runner.
And here's Alexei, who's popped to second and struck out. Curveball, good pitch to hit, a little too quick, fouls it left side.
Love to be able to get into that Minnesota bullpen, which has been less than overwhelming of late. But to do that, you've got to get past Swarzak, who's got a 5-run lead.
Count evens at 1. Outfield. Bit of a gap out there in left center, not much. Checks it up. And the count 2-1. Paulie on deck, done in the hole. $30,042. And attendance. Now time is called. Nishioka with a good stop. Big peg. And they get him.
Just a tremendous play by Nishioka. Wow. Ozzie believed that Alexei beat it out. Tony Randazzo says no. And on the look, which is slowing it down about as much as we can, he's out. But that's really slowing it down.
So a beautiful play by Nishioka. I thought he was out from up here.
Looked like it to me.
Yep. So here is Paulie. Paulie is lined hard into a 6-3 double play and struck out. Takes it right there, and just taking a peek at our minor league results. Charlotte had a doubleheader yesterday, won 2-0 and lost 2-1 at Gwinnett. 7-inning games. Tyler Flowers went 2 for 2 with a homer in that doubleheader. Extended his hitting streak to 6 games. And that's one away. Also, Diane Viciedo leading that league in several categories. Total bases, 183. RBI, 62. Hits, 111. Slugging percentage, 535. He's second in extra base hits with 40. Tied in second in home runs with 16. And third in average with 325.
And you're going to tell me that's good?
Ain't bad.
Sounds real good.
Ain't bad. And that's a tough foul. Yeah, that's for the most part dominating the league. Those numbers.
Very hot, very sticky day here in Chicago. Swarzak continues to motor right along. As Paulie with a base hit tries to get us one run closer, or maybe two.
2 out on 1-2 count. Curveball, and there's a base hit. And here comes the run. So Paulie's going to pick up RBI number 67.
This curveball just rolls, as it could very well be that Swarzak might be losing some of the elasticity in this humidity. Only the fourth single, but it's now a 4-run game.
And here's Adam. He's 0 for 2. He's popped up to third and struck out. Takes ball one. Birmingham lost 10-1 at Jackson. Dan Romanowski down there ranked second opponent average against at 182. Checks it up in the count 2-0. Come on, Adam. We need you, buddy. And the count 3-0. Quentin on deck.
I would expect to see Rick Anderson out here if Swarzak does not get done. Adam will have to go back and grab the bat. Watch where the 4 appears.
And the 3-1. That's terrible. That's all you can say for that. That's just terrible. That's brutal. Two out and a full count. And there's ball 4. Ball 5.
And here comes the aforementioned Rick Anderson. You would assume the bullpen, which is a corresponding move to this slow trip to the mound, would be up and going, and it is. Got 2 of them up.
So now the tying runs on deck. The person of Alex Rios, if Quentin can get aboard.
And there's the bullpen. You've got Burnett, the right-hander on the left, and Dumitre, the left-hander on the right.
And a reminder, you can stop by the Comcast Fundamentals deck at U.S. Cellular Field for the ultimate game day experience. You can visit the Comcast dugout to see official White Sox equipment, take photos next to life-size player cutouts, and listen to updates about the White Sox pitching staff on the Xfinity Voice Dugout phone. All brought to you by great folks at Comcast. Two on, two out. Got a great pitch to hit. Couldn't do anything with it.
His curveball now is very vulnerable. This is the first inning. Here at the 85 or 86 pitch mark. That curveball has started to roll.
Quentin has struck out and grounded to short. And a little tardy on that 92-mile-an-hour fastball. So very quickly the count 0-2.
There you look at some pretty impressive numbers to this point, and that's what you'll find with pitchers. Is the fastball will have the same velocity as they get tired because they're exerting more effort. But it's a curveball that will start to lose a quick break. And when that starts to roll, so do the earned runs.
No 2. That's hit hard. Well, when the guns first came out, that's what most of the clubs used them for. It was not the fastball, the velocity. For the most part, it was used for sliders. And when the guys started losing 1 or 2 or 3 miles an hour for slider, they got somebody up in that bullpen. Oh, and 2, 2 on, 2 out.
Butera goes out. Wants a word with Swarzak. Probably like that same pitch in the same place, because Vanover's been calling pitches in that neighborhood today.
So 1-2 the count. Down goes Quentin. And we'll go to the 7th. Comcast Sportsnet to watch Chicago's All-Star Moments. Three of the classic championship games from the Bulls, Blackhawks, and White Sox, beginning tonight at 7 with the Bulls' 1991 NBA Championship. Chicago's All-Star Moments tonight through Wednesday night at 7 p.m. only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Top of the 7th inning, not good. 5-10-0 for the Twins. 1-4-0 for our Sox.
Bullpen up and going for the Sox, as Will Oman came on for Peavy with one out in the 5th. Got the double play. Went through a 1-2-3-6. Then here he is in the 7th.
And here's Alexei Casilla. Takes first pitch strike. Started off that 3-run 5th with a base hit right back through the middle. Oh, 0-2 the count with Mauer on deck. Got a final from Washington. They shut out the Rockies 2-0. Zimmerman, the winner. Bottom of the 7th at Kansas City, 2-0 Detroit. Two hopper, one out. And here's Mauer. He's 1 for 3 with a run scored. Back in the 5th after Casilla led it off with a single. Mauer moved him to 3rd with 1. And they went on to score 3 as there's a breaking ball low. Twins with 2 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th. Our run coming in the 6th.
Both bullpens up and going. It's Sale and Crane. And the Twins bullpen continues to work.
Chops that one foul. And that's off his foot or his leg. So the count hangs at 1-2. We will start backup action next Friday. And now Oman saying what? The ball didn't hit it. Foot.
AJ said the same thing. Now, no, AJ would never do something like that. If it didn't hit off his foot, he would never act like it did. Will Oman's body was blocking our view of that, but
and that's foul back. We start off next Friday in Detroit, first of a 10-day, 9-game road trip. 3 in Detroit, 3 in Kansas City, then an off day on the 21st, and finish it off with 3 in Cleveland on the 22nd, 3rd, and 4th. Then we come home for a nice homestand He gone. 2 down.
Goes with the high tight fastball, throws it right by him. That brings Ozzie out from the dugout. And after some very good work by Will Ohman, that's going to be it for him. So Ohman will depart. And Jesse Crain will come in, and we'll be back after these messages. Is Jesse Crain. He's 5-2, ERA 2.43, on for the 40th time. In 40 innings, he's given up just 24 hits. The league is hitting a paltry 174 off him. He comes in, nobody on base and 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. A 4-run deficit, but 9 outs to go.
Cuddyer is 1 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. Picked up his 43rd RBI back in the 5th inning. First pitch strike. One to count to the 32-year-old all-purpose player from Minnesota. Play anywhere. And the count 2-1. And there's a base hit. So 2-out single. And a reminder, season ticket plans offer the best seat locations at the lowest prices with the most benefits. Prorated full season weekday and weekend plans are available right now. So call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. And here's Valencia. He's 1 for 3 with a run scored. .511-0 for Minnesota, 1-4-0 for our Sox.
That's camouflaged so well you can hardly see a head under that hat.
And a strike. And the final now from Cleveland. Blue Jays beat them 7-1. Cecil over Carrasco. Bottom of the 8th in Kansas City, still 2-0 Tigers.
Unless Verlander gets up to about 140 pitches, I don't like Casey's chances.
He'll still be throwing 100. His curveball now might be.
There's no doubt.
It's good, but his fastball. He is really.
Last time out, he lost 1-0 to Dan Haren.
Yeah, I listened to most of that game on the way home that night. There goes Cuddyer. And that one run that they scored was disputed. The guy who scored the run, they said, was out at first base.
Hard to square up, Mr. Verlander.
Full count. Rene Tassoni on deck.
Jesse Crain leads the staff in appearances, this being his 40th.
And the payoff. That could be trouble. Jesse, another good play. Made one yesterday. Very athletic. And that'll retire the side. 7th inning stretch. We need 4 to tie.
Ladies and gentlemen, at Major League Ballpark.
It's 5-1 with the Twins on top, and Alex Burnett comes into the game at 2-5, ERA 6.15, on for the 35th time. He gave up the game-winning single in yesterday's game.
And there's a breaking ball, hangs high to Alex Rios, who is 1 for 2. Twins with 5 runs on 11 hits. We have 1 run on 4 hits. 4 singles. And the count 2-0. Don't help him out.
Well, this is where you can really get some damage done against these Twins. In that pen.
Well, one thing about it, I'll tip your cap to Anthony Swarzak, who really pitched well. Moving the ball, both sides of the plate, changing speeds. Got his curve ball over almost every time he wanted to. That'll work. There's the strike.
Swarzak with 6 innings, a run on 4 hits. He walked a couple and fanned 5. He leaves a pitcher of record, but he also leaves 9 outs to get. Bank of America pitch tracks. That's a strike.
And the payoff pitch. Ball 4, base hit, Alex. And that's ball 4. The dreaded leadoff walk. And here comes AJ. AJ has grounded to second and gone out to left. First and 30. Checks it up and takes ball 1 and another trip to the mound by Drew Butera.
On the Twins wish list, as we head into the trading deadline after the All-Star break and before the beginning of August, they're going to have to give a little help to that bullpen, or they're not going to be able to make a consistent run, even with a few starters coming back.
The ball hit hard. Nobody's going to get that one. He just pickled that ball into the gap. And now they're going to wave Alex around. He'll score, and it's a 5-2 ball game on the double by A.J. Pierzynski. The dreaded leadoff walk. $16 doubles for AJ.
RBI number 29 and a fastball right down the middle. So Burnett starting out the way he left off yesterday. And it's a 3-run game.
Don't stop now, boys. Gordon 0 for 2. Takes that breaking ball up high. Last time up. Put Repko back on the track, and here comes Anderson.
Bullpen just up and going once again for the Twins, and that's why Anderson is out there to kill some time. Perkins is one of the few guys out of the pen that's really thrown well. 1.97 ERA in 34 appearances. The rest of that bullpen has been beleaguered at best.
And a reminder, support the Chicago White Sox Wise Food Drive presented by Dominick's. Non-perishable food items and monetary donations will be collected at U.S. Cellular Field on Saturday, July 30th to benefit the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Come on, Gordon. And that's fair. Attaboy, Gordon. So here comes A.J. He's going to score.
Fan interference. That'll be a double, and it's a 5-3 ball game. Don't stop now, boys.
RBI number 25. And Burnett is not fooling anybody. See how long Ron Gardner keeps him in the game. You really just as soon not do that, especially when it's hit by one of our guys. Only in that if that one slides into the corner, it's 3 bases for Gordon, not 2.
So here's T, and he has walked and then fouled out to the catcher. Takes a fastball right there. Breaking ball. And the count 0-2. One out.
That's going to be the last pitch Burnett's going to throw. He throws a high fastball and throws it right by Martin. So it looks like Glenn Perkins will come in. So as Perkins comes in and Burnett steps out, we'll be back. Glenn Perkins, who's 0-1. We told you about the ERA just under 2 on for the 35th time. He does have a couple of saves. 32 innings, 27 hits. He's walked 12 and 34. He inherits Gordon Beckham out at second base. It's a 5-3 game. And Juan Pierre looking out at it.
Juan is 2 for 3 with a run scored. First pitch misses. 1-0 the count with Alexei on deck. Souvenir left side to even the count at 1.
The Bank of America pitch tracks. We'll take a look at that first pitch again. I'm not sure you're going to get a better one. but Juan will take it.
And that single left center field. Can of corn. And here goes Gordon, and safe.
I know that Revere doesn't have a particularly good arm, but 2 runs down in the 7th with 2 outs. It's not a particularly good gamble, even though he was able to get in there.
Well, the rule of thumb on that play has been for over 100 years. You better make sure you can get in standing up.
And don't make the 3rd out. Obviously, at third base, he got in.
You got to be standing up. So here is Alexei. Fouls that one back. Alexei is due. He's 0 for 3. He's popped a second, struck out, and was thrown out on a beautiful play by Nishioka. That was last inning. Come on, Alexei, get on for Paulie. The 0-2 pitch. We get a pair. We'll go to the 8th, trailing 5-3.
Has been thrown pretty well. Like the entire bullpen has been throwing very well. Today, Oman was brilliant in 2 1/3, Crane for a 3rd, and on comes Matt out for a 34th time. ERA just under 3.5.
And Tassoni takes first pitch up and in. He has grounded to second, walked and scored, and singled and knocked in a run. There's a strike. 5-11-0 for their guys, 3-6-0 for our guys. Not a very good effort with that little jab motion. And the count 1-2.
Kansas City has knocked out Verlander. It's Benoit in a 2-1 game now with runners at the corners for Kansas City.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Billy Butler. And there's a shot.
So the leadoff man aboard. And here's Nishioka. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Just tuning in. Back in the fourth, it was a scoreless tie after Kadire popped up. Valencia struck out. 2 out, nobody on. And then Jake, uncharacteristically, he walked to Sony. He walked Nishioka. Base hit by Butera. Double by Repko. First thing you know, they had 2 on the board. Then they scored 3 in the next inning. And the count 2-0.
He'll afford to give these Twins any more. Looking down third base, put up one finger as if to say, is that the sign where I take one? We'll see. That wasn't.
So 2-1 to count.
Benoit got out of the inning. They'll go to the ninth with the Tigers leading 2-1 in Kansas City.
And that's out of play.
Jerry White talking to Tassoni.
Watch out, Paulie. He gone.
They've been calling it all day, young man, and Larry Vanover is calling it now. No surprise. It's a strike in the first, and it's a strike in the eighth.
So here's Butera. He's 1 for 3, but that was an RBI single back in the fourth. Knocking into Sony. And that is foul straight back. If you're just joining us, they scored 2 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth. We scored 1 in the sixth and 2 in the seventh. And on a beautiful day, no home runs in this game. Little high, 1-1. Sony has yet to attempt a stolen base this year. And the count evens at 2. Take him right here, Matt. Jason Repko on deck. He gone.
Bank of America pitch tracks. Good enough today.
Repko has a bunt single, an RBI double, and he grounded to third. Takes that one up high at 95. I mentioned earlier, after this All-Star break, we'll tee it up next Friday at Comerica Park against the Tigers. It'll be Gavin Floyd against Justin Verlander. And that game will be over Comcast Sportsnet. Then on Saturday, Edwin Jackson against Max Scherzer. And that game will be over WFLD Fox. And on Sunday, Jake Peavy against Brad Penny, and that game will be over WGN. And after that 3-game set, it's off to Kansas City for 3, and then Cleveland 3. And we come back on the 25th against Detroit for a 3-game set. Then Boston comes in for 3, and the Yankees for 4. So we'll be at home from the 25th through August 4th. And that's fouled back. 2-2 the count.
That road trip that we will take right after the All-Star break, the 4th of 4 trips, at least 9 games, and the last long road trip of the year.
They got him. And that will do it. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. We need 2 to tie us. 5-3 Minnesota. See White Sox postgame live. Watch highlights and get analysis from Chuck and Bill. Plus go live to Ozzy's postgame remarks. Don't miss Galaxy White Sox postgame live immediately following the game on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. All right, here we go. Bottom of the 8th inning, 5-3 Twinkies. It'll be Konerko, Dunn, and Quentin. Shot, base hit. What new? Paulie 2 for 4 with an RBI.
Brings the tying run to the plate in the person of Adam Dunn. First ball fastball, whether it's 95 on the outside corner or 105 on the inside corner, you're just not going to get it by him if it's in the zone.
So here's Adam. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Perkins throwing a lot harder out of the bullpen than he did as a starter.
Much.
0-1 the count.
Perkins for sure going to have the 8th, and then we'll see in the 9th.
And very quickly the count 0-2. Good rip just underneath it.
Sergio Santos loosening up in the pen. Adam didn't like it. That one had the whole strike zone. Bank of America pitch tracks. You'll see where the 4 appears.
So here's Quentin. He's 0 for 3. He struck out in the 2nd. Grounded out just short in the 5th. And he struck out in the 6th. Takes it right there. Might be the best one he'll get in this sequence.
Well, he's had a
Hopefully not.
couple of extra base hits against Perkins.
Can't get it up there. 0-2 the count. And there's a soft fly ball into left field. 2 now. I tell you, it's hard to believe this team, with all the injuries they've had this year, is 6-1 against us, and 28-7 in the last 35.
It is, but we've seen it over and over again about offensive as well as defensive execution and situational, both hitting and fielding.
They're terrific. They're just terrific. Yeah, they get them in, get them over. Wow. Time after time after time. And there's a chopper to Hopper. So Paulie leads it off with a single, and we leave him at first. We're into the 9th, trailing 5-3. Our break. They'll be right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Tune in as they hit the road to take on the Tigers and Justin Verlander. That'll be Friday night, next Friday night at 6 on your home for White Sox baseball. Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Sergio Santos comes into the game, and Sergio, with an ERA just over 3, a 3-3 record, has to preserve this deficit at 2. And he gets the bottom with Repko before moving to the very tough Revere and Casilla at 1-2.
Repko is 2 for 3. A bunt single, an RBI double, and a grounder to third. Takes first pitch strike. 5-12-0 for Minnesota, 3-7-0 for our Sox. Little pop up in the short, trouble, and foul. Thank you. So the count 0-2.
There would have been 2 bases. Everybody hustling after it, but no chance to get it. Fortunately, it fell on the right side of the line.
Royals got the man at second, nobody out. Francoeur the hitter against Valverde.
Well, Valverde in a 1-run game is always an adventure. And Larry Vanover says he fouled it. AJ can't believe it. Here comes Ozzie. Doesn't want to lose AJ. Now AJ wants an appeal, but the closest guy to it, the guy who could possibly hear it, would be Vanover. Usually AJ's not going to argue this much. If he thinks there's even a chance he fouled it. Well, it didn't look like he touched it at all. That ball was in the dirt. AJ did a nice job of stopping it, but he's got another life.
He gone. Gave him 4. Still got it. So 1 out, and here's Ben Revere, who is 2 for 4 in this game. He is 6 for 17 in the series. Boy, against us, he has done a heck of a job filling in for Denard Span, who usually is a Sox killer.
When Span comes back, odds are overwhelming they'll find a spot for Revere. And that means that they will have a right-hand hitter available if it's Delman Young. Now, do they want to get rid of him? Probably not. Will they? Probably they will. They might use him as the bargaining chip to get some much-needed help out of that pen.
That's low.
One thing Revere has shown, the former #1 draft pick can play at this league. And he can go get him in the outfield.
Snapped. 2 down.
Well, you've got a #1 pick as a shortstop pitching. So he's going to be able to make this play, especially on the glove side. The rest is easy, keeping a speed burner off base, and now you got another guy that will bunt the ball and bunt it a lot.
For our guys, schedule hitters are AJ, Beckham, and Tiem. in the bottom of the ninth. Takes it up. Takes that fastball to 97. Alexei Casilla is 1 for 4. Started off that 3-run fifth with a single. That's a gapper. Nobody's going to get that one. So here he goes. He's going to go ahead and stand up going into third. That's his 4th triple. But it brings Mauer to the plate.
As soon as that ball hit the gap, there was no way Garcia was not going into third base. Now the question is here, you got Cuddyer up next. Do you pitch to Mauer? The answer for me would be no. We'll see what Ozzie decides, and the answer is going to be no.
Mauer 1 for 4 today. 6 for 17 in the series. Especially with a right-hander out there on the mound. Left-hander, different story, but that's a no-brainer.
Got a pretty tough hitter up next, but
oh yeah,
not as tough as the guy standing at the plate.
Mauer is .327 career hitter. He just rolled the dice with Cuddyer. 2 for 4 today. 6 for 16 in the series. Check that, he's 2 for 3 today. He had that sacrifice fly back in the 5th. Almost hit it out of here. Whoops. Guessing first ball fastball strike.
Not going to hit that slider. AJ's going to have to be on his toes because Sergio's going to bury one in the dirt.
There it is. Coming right back to him. He misses the ball.
Well, when you got a pitcher like that whose best pitch is a slider, if AJ is able to corral it, he gets the great hop, the hop you really need, and he has a second shot at it. So it's a wild pitch. The ball gets by him, but it bounces right back to him. But he cannot
find the handle on it.
Now can't get the out.
So a big run, and it's 6-3. One and one to count to Cuddyer. Final now from Kansas City, 2-1 Detroit. That one at 97. So the 2-out triple, the wild pitch, big run. Slider, he gone. Damage is done. We'll go to the ninth. We need 3 to tie.
In a 3-run ball game, Matt Capps will come on. Glenn Perkins did a very nice job. Capps looking for save number 15. ERA 4.5, a 2-4 record, 37th appearance. He was having all kinds of trouble. Perkins actually saved a couple of games for him in Minnesota. And he'll have to lead it off with A.J., one of the heroes of the win yesterday.
A.J. is 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored today. So Capps, 27-year-old right-hander, 6'2", 245 pounds, out of Douglasville, Georgia. Had 42 saves between Pittsburgh and Minnesota, I should say Washington and Minnesota last year. There's ball 1. Six 13-0 for them, 3-7-0 for us. 1-1 to count. Get out of here.
Well, credit to Sony, at least, with a lot of discretion. Because as he went over, as that ball sliced away from him, he realized the seats were coming up pretty quickly. So he took the slide, and he'll live to fight another day. He sees exactly where he is, and you usually come in second going head first into the seats.
Yeah, you don't want to mess around with that one. One-two pitch. The ball hit hard into center field. So they're back now, right on the track. Hauls it in, and that's just a long out.
Wrong part of the ballpark as the wind knocks that one down. AJ got most of that one. It's not quite enough.
So here's Gordon. 1 for 3, an RBI double. Twins trying to make it 7-1 against us this year, and 10 out of the last 11 in this ballpark. Slider strike. Yeah, boy, keep it going. Oh, the 1-out single.
Second hit for Gordon. This time he takes a fastball the other way and gives Martin an opportunity to try to get on base and bring the tying run to the plate. One of the reasons why that last run in the top of the ninth was huge.
Tien has walked, found out to the catcher, and struck out. Takes it up. Takes that slider way inside. And the count 2-0.
Against Matt Capps over the course of his career, Martin has had much the best of it.
And this should do it. And this ball game is over. Twins come in here, take 3 out of 4 from our guys. Make it 10 out of the last 11 in this ballpark. And 29 out of the last 36 against us. You got to tip your cap to Anthony Swarzak.
Well, he did a terrific job today. He came on. This is a guy making just his 5th start of the year. He went 6 innings, gave up just a run on 4 hits. Outpitched Jake Peavy, who had a rough outing here today. And then a much beleaguered bullpen really got it done after Burnett left, because Perkins was terrific. Capps actually nailed it down for his 15th, and this was not the homestand you were looking for heading into the All-Star break.
All right, our GMC player of the game indeed is the 25-year-old right-hander Anthony Swarzak, taking up his 2nd victory. He's now 2-2. Peavy takes a loss. He is 4-3. So for my partner Steve Stone, for our director Todd Benjaminson, our producer Mike Leary, our associate producer Dave Ross, our technical manager Mark Harper, the executive producer Jim Cornell Jr., also for the Mayor Mean Joe Group, and up here in the booth with us Mike Mayer and Frank D'Amato. This is a Hawk. So long, everybody.